For decades, Germany's defense policy has been defined by restraint. Once a military powerhouse, Germany gradually disarmed itself, relying on the post-war peace dividend and NATO's protective shield. But now, after years of sleepwalking, Berlin is waking up to a hard reality. Its military is underfunded, under-equipped, and unprepared. And Chancellor-in-Waiting Friedrich Merz is promising a bold reversal, one that could reshape Europe's security landscape. The numbers paint a stark picture. Germany's Bundeswehr today has around 183,000 active personnel, a far cry from its Cold War peak of 500,000 troops. It operates just 295 tanks, a fraction of what it once had. Its air force struggles with readiness, with only 138 Eurofighter Typhoons available and 85 aging Panavia Tornado jets, some of which will be replaced by 35 newly ordered F-35A fighters. Many of its 6 submarines are often in maintenance, and only 30% of its combat helicopters are fully operational. Decades of underfunding have left Germany ill-prepared for modern threats. The Bundeswehr's problems go beyond equipment. Reports have surfaced of soldiers lacking proper winter gear, ammunition shortages, and outdated communication systems.
We have believed in a deceptive security in our society for at least a decade, probably much more. Now we have to rebuild our defense capabilities partly from scratch, using a technology-driven defense and procurement strategy with automated systems, with autonomous European satellite surveillance, with armed drones, and with many modern defense systems. And above all, with reliable and predictable orders, which should go to European manufacturers whenever possible. Ladies and gentlemen, this is now the paradigm shift in defense policy that lies ahead of us. This decision today, which we are making about defense readiness in the broadest sense for our country, therefore cannot be less than the first major step towards a new European defense community. A defense community that also includes countries that are not members of the European Union, but are very interested in building this common European defense together with us, countries like the United Kingdom and Norway. This is precisely where we stand today with the decision we want to make. This decision has the potential to give a new direction to the history of our country. A positive departure for Germany, a positive departure for Europe. And I say very clearly, it is high time that this departure is successful. We need to become stronger, we need to provide for our own security. This, dear colleagues, is our responsibility. Germany has a leadership role in this, and I think we should be ready to assume this leadership responsibility. This amendment to the basic law today is right for this. It is important and a clear signal we will do everything to maintain peace in Europe.
That is about to change. Merz has announced an unprecedented borrowing plan to increase defense spending, signaling a new era for European security. The plan includes a €500 billion special fund aimed at revitalizing Germany's military infrastructure and breaking away from past financial constraints. This move aligns with Germany's earlier commitment under Chancellor Olaf Scholz to invest €100 billion into its armed forces, a dramatic policy shift following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Scholz called it Zeitenwende, a historic turning point, acknowledging that Europe can no longer rely solely on the US for its security. Germany's renewed focus on defense invites comparisons with its neighbor France, which has maintained a robust military posture. France's armed forces consist of approximately 270,000 active personnel and a fleet of 406 Leclerc tanks. A key distinction is France's nuclear capability, with an arsenal of around 290 warheads, a strategic deterrent that Germany does not possess. The French Air and Space Force operates a diverse array of aircraft including 100 Rafale BC multi-role fighters, 66 Mirage 2000D strike aircraft, and 26 Mirage 2005F multi-role fighters, totaling 192 combat aircraft. In contrast, the German Air Force's combat fleet is smaller, highlighting the gap in aerial capabilities between the two nations. France's commitment to maintaining a strong defense posture is further evidenced by recent plans to increase orders for Rafale fighter jets and invest €1.5 billion in airbase enhancements, as announced by President Emmanuel Macron. Historically, France has pursued an independent defense strategy, bolstered by its nuclear deterrent and active involvement in overseas operations, particularly in Africa and the Middle East. Germany, constrained by post-World War II treaties and a cautious political approach, has traditionally limited its military engagements. However, the evolving security environment suggests that this era of restraint may be coming to an end. Germany's defense buildup isn't without controversy. Opposition parties argue that the surge in military spending risks neglecting social welfare programs. The German Greens and left-wing parties fear a return to militarism, while some economists warn that massive borrowing could strain Germany's fiscal health. Critics also warn that Germany's shift could escalate tensions with Russia, reigniting old geopolitical anxieties. However, supporters, including defense experts and NATO allies, see this as a necessary step. Poland and the Baltic states, which have long urged Germany to take a stronger defense role, have welcomed the move. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has praised Berlin's commitment, stating, "A strong Germany is essential for a strong Europe." Merz himself has emphasized that Germany can no longer live in a false sense of security. This shift isn't just about Germany. Merz envisions a new European defense community, potentially including non-EU nations like the UK and Norway. If realized, this could mark a major transformation in Europe's security landscape, one less reliant on the United States and more self-sufficient in deterring threats. Germany's new approach could also influence the European defense industry. The country is a key player in joint projects such as the Future Combat Air System, FCAS, with France and Spain, and the Main Ground Combat System, MGCS, a next-generation tank program. Increased defense spending could accelerate these initiatives, strengthening Europe's collective military power.
Die Umstände werden vor allem von Putins Angriffskrieg gegen Europa bestimmt. Es ist nämlich ein Krieg gegen Europa und nicht nur ein Krieg gegen die territoriale Integrität der Ukraine. Es ist, auch wenn Sie das dort und dort anders sehen, es ist ein Krieg auch gegen unser Land, der täglich stattfindet. Der täglich stattfindet. Mit Angriffen auf unsere Datennetze, mit der Zerstörung von Versorgungsleitungen, mit Brandanschlägen, mit Auftragsmorden mitten in unserem Land, mit der Ausspähung von Kasernen, mit Desinformationskampagnen, deren Teil auch Sie in Deutschland mittlerweile sind, mit systematischer Irreführung und Täuschung unserer Gesellschaft. Gegen diese Angriffe werden wir uns mit allem, was uns zu Gebote steht, in den nächsten Jahren und Jahrzehnten zur Wehr setzen.
After 2 decades of military neglect, Germany is rearming itself at full speed. Its new defense spending will reshape not only its own military, but also the future of European security. The question now is, will this newfound urgency be enough to make Germany a strong, self-reliant military power again? Or will internal politics and economic constraints limit its ambitions? One thing is clear, Germany's Zeitenwende has begun, and its defense strategy will never be the same again.